just gonna do a quick tutorial here because I was making this anyways. But today I'm gonna be showing you how you can make your own Ewok costume. Like those little teddy bear warriors from Star Wars. And everything I used was pretty much completely thrifted or from the dollar store, so it's cheap, easy, and it's gonna be a really cool costume. So let's get to it. So when you're going to the thrift store, you really need to look for fur. It's the cheapest place to get anything made of fur. So I got this massive blanket. We got like a tan color on the one side and blonde on the other, but both sides are really furry, so that's good. I do have to make 2 Ewok costumes, one for me, one for my friend, for a beer pong tournament. So I think I'm gonna make 2 different colors. I also found quite a bit of orange brown tone fabrics, so I can make the lovely Ewok hood and put my teddy ears through them.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the bear ears. I have this headband I got from the thrift store. I'm just gonna place it here so you have an idea of the sizing. Now we're simply just gonna draw the bear ears. You can see it's super faint. It doesn't matter. I just needed a rough size and shape to cut it out. I'm just gonna cut out the one and then I'm gonna repeat the pattern several times. So in trialing out the pieces I just cut, I realized there was more support to holding the ear up if you actually double layered it. So I went ahead and cut out a bunch of pairs of smaller and larger ones. Again, I am making 2 sets of everything for me and my friend. Now I'm gonna get out some hot glue and we're gonna attach them to the headband. So I have the ears roughly laid out. I am gonna go ahead with alternating different colors and basically we're just gonna hot glue it so it's like this. So now that everything's been hot glued together, I'm gonna take my pairs. Again, you'll see I have opposite colors. And I'm just gonna hot glue them to the headband. All right, so after some nice hot glue gun burns, we're done the ears.
And this is what they look like. If you think they're a little too big, you can still cut around the edges. I am going to be wearing a hood, so that should cover some of the length of them. And we'll get to that later.
Next part's really easy. I'm just gonna make some wrist cuffs and ankle cuffs made out of fur in both colors. So I've got my fabric laid out and I'm basically just gonna cut off a long, thin strip. Just kind of guesstimate how long my forearm is. You don't wanna cover the entire forearm so you can bend. Now that I have my 4 pieces cut, again, doing 2 sets of wrist guards, I have this Velcro strips. So I'm gonna start with this piece. It's gonna be tan on the outside and it's gonna be blonde on the inside. So you want to glue your pieces on the inside to the outside of the other piece. Here's an example of what it looks like when it's on. You can cut it if it's too long. I think this is an okay length. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it for all the rest of them. All right, so I'm done the 2 different color for wrist guards, and I'm just gonna do the exact same thing for the ankles now. And I have this extra fabric that I found at the thrift store for $1. It's like kind of almost like suede hide type fabric. I'm gonna cut strips out and I am gonna be tying them around the leg warmers and the wrist guards just for extra detail. You don't have to do this, but I do like the way it looks. I'm gonna start with 25-inch pieces and see how that goes. So here's an example of a 25-inch piece in length that I cut. It's about 1 inch wide. All you have to do is wrap it around, and I just tied it into kind of a knot in the end, but I do like the effect that it gives it. It cinches it in, blah, 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 and it keeps the leg warmer on better. So you can add as many of these as you want. I think I'm gonna do 1 more on here, and then I'll just do that for both legs and both wrists. When I was in the checkout, I actually came across all these great necklaces and they were only like, I don't know, $1 or 2 each. So we're gonna add these to our costumes too. It's not completely necessary or anything, but I think they're a fun detail and I might use them again for something else. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our bottoms. So I have a black bandage skirt. You can pretty much find these literally anywhere. I probably would have got brown if I found any. Black's totally fine. We're gonna cover most of it in fur anyways. So I measured across the top here My skirts are really small. I always have to take them in. So it's about 10 inches. And it's about 15 inches long. So I'm gonna do 10 by 15 and I'm gonna make it into a triangle and we're gonna tuck it in the front. Again, it's really faint, but I can totally see it. Here's an example of what this triangle tucked into the skirt looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut 2 slightly smaller pieces for this side and then 1 more for the back. The good thing about these skirts is you don't have to sew or glue it in, but if you don't mind like doing that with your skirt, you can go ahead, but I'm gonna rewear this. And this is what the skirt would look like finished. Again, it's just tucked in. We have our side pieces, we have our back pieces, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna make the hood. So this took some playing around. This was a shower curtain. I just cut it in half, and honestly, it's gonna depend on the person, but basically it's a square now. And all you have to do is just kind of put it around your head and then sort of play with how you want it to go. So basically like this. I am going to glue it and then flip it inside out so you won't see the messy seam. Okay, not gonna lie, this hood is looking way more legit than I even planned for, and I'm digging it. So now I just need to make really tiny ear slots so I can stick the ears through. Basically, I'm just gonna make small incisions in the hood for the ears so they can come through, and then I can hide the headbands, hide some of the length of the ear, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and mark it out with permanent marker. I'm only gonna do about 2 inches. Because the ears can stretch through the hole. Now I'm gonna cut them out.
Come to the dark side.
Okay, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but this looks freaking legit. So now we have our hood and we have our ears through the hood. And the last part we have to get to is our sweet staff. I actually got this at the dollar store and it's a really solid piece of bamboo. So I'm just gonna add some details to this and we're done. Okay, just quickly for the staff, I was going to add a spearhead, but seeing as how I'm going to be in a field with like 200 drunk people, it's probably not a good idea, and this was a lot faster. So all I did was tie some of the extra hide material I had around the staff, and then add some nice hemp string. So it gives it kind of more of that like tribal warrior Ewok feel. And that's it, we're done. Just to go over the costume quick, we have our ears and our hood, we have our wrist guards, our ankle guards, you can't see them right now, necklaces, the fur skirt, and we're good. Just like an Ewok. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe. I'm gonna be making a lot more. Hit like. If you have any questions, just write down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. And thanks for watching. First game down, you just lost. How do you feel about this? Sad you lost.